I'll be lying to you if I tell you that tech is top 6 things I would do if I were starting tech. I realized I've been speaking to you guys like I am a customer representative. You have to learn. Pico, please click the subscribe button. The literal Imelda. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I am literally Imelda, and if you are new, welcome. On this channel we do all things tech, lifestyle and fashion. So if you're interested in things like this, or if you like this video, don't forget to put the thumbs up for me or click the subscribe button and get to be my friend, where we talk about everything tech, lifestyle, fashion and in-betweens. And without further ado, I'll be jumping into the video. But before I do, I want to take a side note to thank every new subscriber. We have increased over the weeks, and I'm so grateful for you subscribing. So please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And we'll be changing things a bit around here. I noticed that whenever I come on here to speak to you guys, you kings and queens, I always sound like a secretary on my channel, like very official and all the rest. But I'm trying to bring out the literal Imelda, so you get to see who I am besides the stylist, fashionista, whatever you know me as. I want you to see the real me, and the real me is who I am about to divulge to you. Is that a word? I'm not sure, but anyways, sit down, relax, grab your popcorn, grab your drink and enjoy this video, because I'll be telling you the top 6 things I would do if I were to start tech afresh today. Mind you, I have a background in tech already, but if I were to start tech today, this is the things I would do. Now I'll just give you a glimpse of like what I've been doing and what I've done up until now, so you understand why I think I'm in a good place to tell you the top 6 things that I would do if I were starting tech afresh. So yes, for my BSc, I studied computer engineering, and for my master's, I did something entirely different, but it was still in tech. So it was literally like me starting afresh in that aspect of tech, which was visual effects and animation. So it had nothing to do with computer engineering. Yes, it was in tech, but it was not computer engineering. So it was like starting afresh. And then now I practice as a platform engineer, doing all the pipeline, CI/CD stuff. So I think I have gained a good knowledge of where and how to start if I were just starting afresh in tech. So I'll be sharing my bits and my point of view. If you have other things to add, don't forget to drop them in the comment section for other people to learn from it as well, because I'll be learning from it too. So please feel free to drop your own ideas or what you would do differently. But these are my 6 points of what I would do differently. Number 1 is that I would research. Research is quite important, because the truth is that not everybody will be interested in every area of tech like the other person. So tech is really like a diverse web. Tech is diverse. Like there is law tech, there is business tech, there is product tech. You see, there is project tech. So you can't just say, oh, I want to go into tech. You'll be confused. You will lose interest because you'll feel overwhelmed. If I were to start again, I'll do my research and ask myself what really interests me. So as a person, what do I do in a day-to-day that interests me? And how can I transfer these skills into the tech world? This will make it easier for you to sieve through the numerous categories in tech. Let's take, for instance, when I was getting into my master's. So I told you I studied computer engineering for my BSc, my bachelor's. I literally studied computer engineering for my bachelor's because when I was younger, I liked to play video games. And I was so intrigued about how video games consoles were made. Like, ooh, the engineering behind video game consoles. And that was what propelled my interest to study computer engineering. But when I finished computer engineering, I felt a bit bored. I was just like, I don't want to be a mechanic. I want to be a baller. That was not what I said. But yeah, I just felt like it was too, what's the word? Too behind the scenes, too hands-on. So I wanted something more interesting. I wanted something that would use a creative side of me, because I liked to play video games. Remember, I also liked the whole interface of video games. So I was like, what side of tech would utilize my previous foundational knowledge in computer engineering, as well as helping me build on my creative side, and when I thought of it, it was visual effects and animation, which had to do with like creating special effects for movies, for games, and animating characters for cartoons and movies. And that was why I went into visual effects and animation for my master's. So you can see I used my interest to actually get into tech and to continue to grow into different categories of tech. You might be wondering, oh, I'm a lawyer, but I want to get into tech. So use your knowledge in law and get into tech. Like, so go into the areas where law stuff are being utilized in tech. So do your research and always niche down your research to your area of interest, because this will propel you to continue going forward in tech. It will be a motivating factor because you're already doing what you love but using technology, if that makes sense. My number 2 point would be learning. You have to learn. I'll be lying to you if I tell you that tech is a bed of roses. I know you've been sold the dream that tech money is like oil money, or tech guys, like tech bro, tech sis, they're living large. But let me tell you something, they're not sleeping well. Tech bros and tech sis are not sleeping well. That's what they will not show you. The media will not show you that. They will not tell you they're not sleeping well. They're not sleeping well not because it's a bad thing per se. In tech is fast paced. You have to continue learning. You have to continue building on yourself, building your skills, like building your resume, building your experiences, so that you can be more valuable to wherever you are at or wherever you're hoping to go to. And let me tell you something, in tech, you always want to grow, because when you grow, you get the fatter salary package that is enticing most of you to want to get into tech. And also, just as a person, you become more equipped to solve world problems or company or organizational problems, as opposed to just like staying dormant and just dying away in your past a cake knowledge. You don't want to be that person. So in tech, you have to continuously learn. Talk more of when you're just starting tech, so you have to learn a lot, and boot camps would help you learn a lot. All these platforms that help you learn new stuff like Coursera, Udemy would help you build on the specific area in tech you want to dwell on. So pay for those courses, go for those boot camps, like do it. I will tell you, do it. And even when you land your tech role, you have to continue learning. If not, you'll fall off. Take it from me, take it from experience. I thought that like once you've got to this, you just stay there, but it's not it. That's not true. It's a lie. And anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to you, because in tech you keep on learning, you keep on evolving, you keep on building yourself, so you be valued. So learn. That'll be my second point. My third point will be getting hands-on experience. So when you learn in tech, it's easy to feel like with tech you can't just read or learn without putting it into use. It do you better good if you can put it into use via internships or just playing around things. So for instance, if you decided that you want to become a software programmer, like writing of codes, great and good. When you now decide that, and then you went on Udemy, went for boot camps and learned stuff, you have to keep on practicing, and you have to use that practice to build your portfolio so that people can see what you have done before and trust you or entrust you with their work, aka organizations. So I would say tech is very hands-on. So when you've done your research, put it to work, put it into practice, try to do like projects that would help you actually realize that, oh snap, I actually know this stuff now because I solved this task that I can see. Put your learning into work in tech. That will be my third point. It will help you actually know that you have learned whatever you said you've learned, and it will obviously be an evidence to others who you're hoping to work for or work with, so that they'll be able to say, oh yeah, saw the portfolio and yeah, he can do it. And that will bring me to my fourth point, which is building your portfolio. So it's not enough to do this stuff. Make sure that you're recording all the stuff you've learned and built with the knowledge into your own portfolio, so that you'll be more credible, so that whenever you're applying for jobs or you're trying to like work with a company, you will tell them that, oh, this is my portfolio where I did this and this project, and they can look through it and say, oh yeah, surely he did it, so we can trust him with this job. or this role. So that would be my fourth point. My fifth point would be networking. So people always talk about networking. I'll talk about networking more, what I feel about networking in this day and era, in a second video. But for now, networking legitimately. Why do I put legitimately? Because most people think that networking is just building casual like relationships because you want to gain something at that moment, which I think is parasitic, but we'll come to that later. But anyways, build genuine relationships. So go into spaces where, or communities where, like people like yourself are doing this stuff, and just build genuine friendships first, and then network into that area. Because the truth is that your work life is not your only life. You need to know that, like, if all you're doing in networking is to network because of your job role, is a lonely part. Actually make genuine friendships with people who you actually would really tally with, or would really enjoy their company, but are in the role. Does it make sense? So in essence, you're hitting two birds with one stone, instead of just networking just to get a role. I feel that is somehow. So actually build genuine friendships with people who are doing the same thing you hope to do, which will make it easier, instead of just networking to get some role, if that makes sense. So that's my fifth point: networking legitimately and genuinely. And my last but not the least point is persistence. Persistence. Let me tell you something. If I want to calculate all my years of being in tech, it will sum up to like 10 years, but practicing in a role, it will come up to like almost 5 years. And I'll tell you something, it's lonely. Some days it's boring, some days it's overwhelming, some days you just don't want to do it. But if you have persistence, you'll keep it going. Some days even the money that you came to work in the tech for will not make sense to you, because truly and truly, that huge sum people tell you they make, that's not really what they take home, because taxes would be subtracted from it, and some other things, plus you have bills. So at the end of the day, the real thing you're going to take home is going to be okay, but it wouldn't be that much. So at the end of the day, your mental health matters, your self-worth matters, and what you really want for yourself in the long run, your career goal, your life goal, would come into play. So if you are not persistent, you won't go far in tech. You would drop off. You would say you can't do it anymore. Just like every other occupation, tech is not easy. It's not I can code, boom. And please let me clear this off. Tech is not only about coding. There are different parts of tech. I think I mentioned it at the beginning of this video. So don't fall into the trap of thinking, oh God, if I have to get into tech, I have to code. There's so many parts of tech that you don't have to code. In fact, these days it's getting easier and easier. There are literally people who just manage the programmers, not literally manage them, but manage their work. For instance, manage the projects they are doing. So they call them scrum masters, they call them project managers. Literally, they just manage how the project is being run. They don't really know anything about code. They just know more about people management and making sure projects run as they should. And they are in tech. See? So you don't really need to know much about coding to get into tech, but you need persistence to stay in tech. So it's not just about getting into tech, you need persistence to stay in tech. So if you want to stay in tech, please equip yourself with persistency. And to be persistent, you need to actually like what you do. And to like what you do, you need to do your research to ensure that the tech category you're diving into is closer to home. What do I mean by closer to home? Is closer to what you like. Anyways, if you like more videos like this, or if you want a part 2, tell me in the comment section. And if you have your own ideas or point of view to what you would advise people who want to get into tech afresh, please drop it in the comment section so we all learn. And without further ado, I'll be signing off now. Watch out for my next video. Thanks for staying up till now. Till then, I'm your girl, literally Imelda. Bye.